Welcome to day 5 of the Untangling Overwhelming Emotions challenge. Today, I want to focus on safe places, and in particular on the idea on how to recognize and find an emotional safe person. My name is Sven Lauch, and I'm an emotional logic coach. One of the core things in emotional logic is that we teach people that they will need emotional safe places in order to work through their emotions. We mentioned 3. One is you might need a physical safe place. That can be any kind of physical location, but make it specific. It's like a chair in your house, or a specific room, or a specific corner in a room. It might be just going out for a walk. It might be a very specific space outside. The second one that we teach is a frame of mind. The ability to calm yourself down so that you feel emotionally safe within yourself and you can begin to think more clearly. And the third one, and that is what I want to focus this video on, is to find a safe person, or even multiple ones. An emotionally safe person sees you, hears you, values you, and is able to some extent to help you. Now, that might sound like a big call, and I want to reassure you, you don't have to find a single person that is this perfect emotionally safe person. You might look for different people with different skills and with different strengths in order to help you untangle overwhelming emotions. Here are a few characteristics that you might want to look out for in order to gauge whether that person is safe or not. An emotionally safe person validates your emotions without judgment. As I mentioned before, we are sometimes conditioned to actually not feel. We are told not to feel angry, or we are told not to feel guilty. But validation is really important. It's important that somebody can come and say, "Hey, I see you are angry. What's going on?" Or somebody else might come and say, "Hey, you look anxious. What's going on?" Emotional validation helps us to feel already better about ourselves, because we stop fighting this whole idea that we feel something is wrong with us. The moment that somebody says that it's okay what I feel, and that there's no judgment around what I feel and why it is, it helps us to calm down. The second one is affirmation. Affirmation is about your values. It is about that there is a person that sees your values and is able to affirm them. I'm thinking about sentences like, "Hey, I really see that you deeply care about people." Or somebody might say, "I see that you really love this person." But there's another thing that I think is also important in the sense of affirmation, especially when it comes to our values. And that is, you have a right to protect yourself. You have a right to set boundaries. You have a right to say something about it. That's affirmation. And again, as we hear those things and as we suck them up, we calm down inside. We find more confidence and we find a better place inside ourselves and feel more motivated and more energized that we can do something about our overwhelming emotions. A third one is appreciation. It's that person that is able to show you how much you mean to them. It's related to affirmation. But in this case, a person would say, hey, I know how deeply you care about people because I have benefited from that so many times. That would be words of affirmation, for instance. Or appreciation could also mean to share with you, hey, you have helped me so many times. I really appreciate you. How can I help you? It is really important to us as humans to feel appreciated, to feel that we are needed, that we are seen, and that we are of value to other people. And that again, appreciation helps us to feel better about ourselves. And it helps us to release some of that energy that is trapped in the overwhelming emotions to be released so that we can more easily go through the process of untangling them. And then here's a fourth one, and I think that is almost the most important one when it comes to having a safe person helping us to untangle overwhelming emotions. And the fourth one is accountability. A safe person that holds you accountable is someone who will help you to make a plan, but also follow up on you and say, how did it go? How are you doing? How are you developing? How are you changing? How do you find it to put these new things in place? Accountability helps us to stay on track. Accountability helps us to really move things forward. Without accountability, we can lose our track very quickly. But with accountability, there's an extra motivation to get things done. As I said in the beginning, it's not about trying to find one person that has all those characteristics. You might find that there's one person that is really good in validating your emotions, but that person is maybe not really good in holding you accountable. So you look for somebody else who's really good in holding you accountable. There might be one person who is really good in seeing your values and affirming your values. But it's not necessarily a person that you have necessarily worked with a lot. So there might not come much of appreciation back. So maybe you have two different people. One who's really the affirming part, the person who sees you, but one that is focusing and helps you to feel appreciated. So let me summarize. Characteristics of an emotionally safe person are that they can validate your emotions without judgment, that they can affirm your values, that they can show you appreciation in a way that is meaningful to you, and that they will hold you accountable to keep you on track. My subject for tomorrow is don't fight alone. And I will go deeper into the importance of why you should not try to solve all your issues on your own, and why it's important that we stop being in competition with each other and lonely, but that we begin to collaborate in solving each other's issues. My name is Sven, and I see you tomorrow.